We acknowledge the traditional custodians of the country where this video is filmed, the Kaurna people, and we acknowledge their connections to land, sea and community. We pay our respect to their elders past and present and extend that respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples. Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples should be aware that this video may contain images and voices of people who have passed away. Bowel cancer is the second biggest cause of cancer death in Australia. If found early, around 90% of bowel cancers can be treated successfully, but only around 1 in 5 Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people take part in the National Bowel Cancer Screening Program. It is the third most commonly diagnosed cancer in Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people.
My name's Alexander Stengel. I'm a proud Nunjidi man. Grew up in the Adelaide Hills in a home. I was taken away from stolen generation people. Well, one of my favourite uncles, I miss him dearly because he used to be a tough man and good bloke, worked on a Salisbury Council and that, and home was always open and he was always welcome there, have a few beers, whatever, and Auntie Joy was always cooking it. And then one day I didn't see him and that, and I went around and said, what's going on? And he had prostate cancer. And by the time he'd done the test, it was too late. It had gone into his hips and bones, so a couple of times I took him to Royal Adelaide to do his radiotherapy, what do they call it, therapy and that. And then a track, he said, he spoke to the doctor and the doctor gave him an exact date more or less. And the doctor was spot on because by the time Uncle Artie had addressed all these things what he's got to do with his funeral and all that, you know, and he'd done all that, and then he passed on. But I do miss him. Lovely man. I'm proud to be an ambassador for SA Cancer Council, and I speak to men about bowel cancer, their kits, the kits and that. And one time we was having a yarn with the guys and we had about 12, 14 there, and I was with the other cancer worker, Eugene Warrior, and then I asked the guys to put their hands up, who got the kit? Well, they all put their hands up, and then I said, who's done it? Only myself, Eugene and this other bloke. And I just looked at the guys, I said, you guys, you got a thing, and I had got my letter back from when you send the thing away, and then I'd received negative, so they can read it. I thought, oh, here, read that, and see, that's all it is, do it.
My name is Alex Harrowayne, and I work for the Wellbeing SA, and I'm the Bowel Screening Cancer Officer. I find an easy way to create a welcoming environment is to first of all have a little bit of a chat with them. Yarning for Aboriginal people is very important. Everybody has a story, and if you sit down and have a chat with someone, they're liable to tell you stories about their family, or they may be having some difficulties in life or whatever. A yarning session just allows people to bring that up. Aboriginal culture has certain aspects to it that should be respected. Maybe you have an Aboriginal flag, or you have something that's going to help to make them feel at ease. Some people like straight talk, so if you're going to talk about something, they like you to say what it is straight up. They don't like you to beat around the bush sort of thing, sugarcoat it. Some people are a little bit more sensitive and they take a bit more time. So it's really having some awareness of who you're talking to, and I guess the vibe that they give off. If you're going to a certain area, it's always nice to do a little bit of background on that area so that you have something to talk to them about, and just to make them feel at ease and to let them know that you know, you can be trusted and you're a safe person. It's always best to avoid using jargon, rushing somebody, or asking too many questions at one time. To let the client know that their information is confidential and private, and it's just between you and them. It's a good question to ask the client, are they comfortable with a man talking to them or a woman? It may be around some sensitivity around women's business, so it's important to find that out from the start. It's important that Aboriginal people 50 and over have a bowel screening test. It's very important that they probably have it once every 2 years. Bowel cancer is a major cause of Aboriginal deaths. There is a way to prevent it, and that is through screening. It's important to let the clients know so that they know how to do the test. And it's also important to let them know that there's no shame. Everything is confidential. It's completing the bowel cancer test picks up any problems early, and you end up with much better outcomes. The test kit will arrive in the mail. Just follow all the instructions to the letter. It's very simple to do. Once you've taken the 2 samples, send it back in a post-replied envelope. If it does come back positive, that doesn't mean that you have cancer. That means that you may have polyps in the bowel, and that's quite a simple operation. There is an online service where you can go online and actually apply for another kit, or there is a phone number that you can ring, I think it's a 1-800 number, and they'll resend a kit out to you. There are culturally appropriate resources via the website below for your clients.
For more information about the National Bowel Cancer Screening Program, visit ncsr.gov.au.